Hello people, welcome back to True Take and thanks for watching the video. In this one I'm going to really be discussing and looking into the reality of women today and that they are so off the mark about what men want. It's like women are more interested in competing with what other women are doing regardless of how dumb it is, how stupid it is, and they end up with this sort of a cut and paste sort of carbon copy personality or look, like the lip fillers, the BBLs, the fake this, the fake that, the Botox, whatever, and it's all geared towards looking as fake and superficial as possible. And that's not what men are really attracted to. I think personally, I think all this fake stuff gained traction through women who hit the wall and realised that they'd wasted their youth and decided, oh, I need to do everything I can to try and look young. Because once they hit the wall, that's it. So they started getting, fake breasts, Botox, liposuction, BBLs, everything that's fake, the lip fillers, everything. And it's sort of a filter down into younger women as well who don't even need it. But it's like women just follow this trend like sheep, and it's not what men are even attracted to. Men are attracted to peaceful, kind, loving, respectful, natural women. That's it. That is what your fundamental masculine man is looking for. That's it. Not fake this, fake that, attitude, boss woman, independent. No, that is not what a man wants. So let's watch this video. It's by Rhea TV, and it's her reacting to a video of a woman explaining the insanity that we're seeing.
Facebook, and basically it says men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? And to be honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. It's like y'all sense of entitlement is out of control. Y'all expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing y'all bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living a lifestyle to post on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will that. But men are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free looks and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact. Men love women that are exclusive, women that are put up, women that every man can say he had or can have. Simple as that.
You know, I love the fact that there has been an uproar of a lot of women who are just tired of the foolishness. Okay, they're tired of the way that modern women think, and they're sending the gap even more nowadays for the men as well, because they see the constant foolishness, and it's not just on social media, it's also in real life. You see how women maneuver. You literally see, that everybody is actually a copy and a paste, for real. They got the same wig. They go to the same person for the lashes. They talk the same. If you go on TikTok, you notice that all the women have the same exact facial expressions when they talk. Because it's crazy. They keep trying to replicate a certain type of person or a certain diagram. And I love the way that this woman just, she just poured it out, no chaser. You're replicating the same exact diagram and you're thinking that you're going to get positive results, but we already know what's going to happen. On this side of the internet, we already seen it time and time again. What happens is they start approaching that wall. And then reality strikes. And then they're like, hold up. I got to do something different because it's looking like I'm going to be out here by myself. It's looking like the same man that I want to fly me out and to buy me the bags and to buy me the shoes, that I might be in a line for him. And so now let me dial it back some.
Yeah, and that is when women hit the wall. They've had their fun, they've abused their youth and their good looks by sleeping with all the men that are just taking their picky women and don't have to settle down. And if they're going with men who can get most women, there's a high likelihood that not everybody wins the prize. So a lot of them hit the wall, they get left used and abused, and they reach a certain age and they're like, oh, I maybe need to change my approach because I'm wanting kids. I'm maybe 30s, mid-30s, coming up for 40s. Let me just grab a quick simp that, you know, I'm not attracted to, but will give me money and give me a kid. That's the bottom line. So rather than women using their youth to find the best man possible to settle down with, they just use it for an emotional roller coaster to go for the thrills and the spills. I don't know if you remember the old saying. It was popular a while ago. It was YOLO. YOLO, you know, all this, where it's just like live in the moment, have as much fun as you can, and never mind the future. But that's the problem. When the future comes, these women are like, damn, I need to just scramble for whatever I can get and take what I can get. And that's the reality.
Unfortunately, a lot of times what happens is once they are approaching that wall or once they hit it, they already got kids. They're not in their...
Yeah, well, they might, that's what I'm saying, and they can definitely fall pregnant, have kids to all different guys as well, like she's saying. But generally, a lot of women abuse their femininity. Rather than using it to their advantage to set themselves up, they just think that it's like an unlimited fountain of youth, that they're going to be able to live this life forever. And like she's saying, there comes a point when it hits them, and it could be when they've got kids or whatever, but at some point it hits them like, damn, I need to maybe just change a bit. And that's when you see them going from the party life to settling down with some random little simp that'll give them a kid and pay for their life. That's the reality. And they'll never get the guy they really wanted because he has no respect for them and knows that they're just a lost cause, and, you know, they're for the streets. That's the reality.
Prime anymore. They're not, you know, at the top of the pickings list. And then they get frustrated. Then they go into the, you know, they try to convert other women and try to convince other women that they also don't need men because now they no longer qualify.
Yep, and that's another thing. I think you see a lot of older women who have hit the wall and ruined their life give a lot of younger women bad advice. Like she's saying, oh, men are no good. And they fill them with, you know, a lot of feminist mindset, and it's just hatred. But it's rather than taking accountability that they messed up, they just blame men. That's it. They'll just blame men. Oh, it's all men. You know, it's all the men's fault. Nothing to do with me. I'm just perfect. It was only me that opened my legs like 200 times between the ages of whatever 18 till, you know, 30. But it's all the men's fault. You know, I'm not the common denominator at all. It's all the men's fault. You know.
They wasted all their time telling all these good men, oh, no, you know, you're not my type. And, you know, I need a man that's going to do all this stuff for me. Oh, you know, you too broke for me because, you know, I need a man that's going to do all this stuff. And while these men keep passing you by, they end up bucking up on a woman who is willing to, because whatever you say you're not willing to do, there's always somebody else who's willing to do it. Then they find themselves in committed relationships. They find themselves in marriages with women who are, again, exclusive, who are not trying to fit into the sisterhood mold. They are trying to work and evolve within themselves so that they become somebody's wife. These men end up married, and you sitting over here just watching all these men that you let pass you by post on social media, they wedding pics, they family pics, they all together with Christmas with the matching pajamas on, while you're sitting there all by your lonesome. Ironically enough, a lot of these women end up in cliques of other women who have the same mentality. But what tends to happen is that somehow one of these women or two of these women end up venturing off and getting married, getting into relationships, and then it becomes smaller and smaller with their friendship circle of women who are actually single. 5 of them end up, they all started off single.
Yeah, and then you can flip it. And what another thing I've noticed is common and I've seen spoken about is if there's a clique of women and let's say they're all married or they're all in relationships and all married, let's say they're all married, if one gets divorced, they all start giving each other bad advice and like sort of a advice to like as if to say, oh, this is good for you, but it's a sort of coming from a place of spite, and they all end up divorced. So whatever way you look at it, the women, it's like the blind leading the blind in a lot of cases. They think they know better, but they don't. I'm really sorry. Women do not know better. Women are emotional balls of nonsensical mess most of the time. And they like I say, it's the blind leading the blind. It's insane.
Person got into a relationship, got married, now it's 4, now it's 3, now it's only 2 of y'all. Then in the 2 of you, it becomes a competition of who's going to get into the relationship next because you don't want to be in that solitude. Because while you've been having fun, partying, going out, buying the wigs, trying to keep up, trying to afford a certain lifestyle that you really could not afford, while you are doing the most, you were never doing the introspective work necessary to actually attract a better relationship.
And it just keeps they go through their life, making the same mistake, because women seem to have this issue of reflecting on their own behaviour. And they just have this sort of an inbuilt thing it's like a defence mechanism to just blame everything else. Anything but them. And that's why you see women just go through their life, make the same mistakes, relationship after relationship, divorce 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 kids. It's insane or whatever. But they will never learn. It's very rare a woman can reflect and just say, right, it's me. I need to change. And you'll see them saying, oh, I'm in healing and therapy and spirituals and all this nonsense. But honestly, I think 9 times out of 10, that's just a lot of nonsense to sound good. Because they don't actually know what they're doing. They just say something that sounds good to make it seem like they're trying to change. But most women, it seems like they just can't. It's like they're programmed, like they fall into patterns. And once a woman goes into a pattern of being unwifeable, it's hard to get her back out of that. And like they say, she's for the streets. That's it. You're not going to change that.
So then time catches up on you, and you getting older and older. You're if you didn't already have children, now you got now you got baggage. Now you got baby daddy drama, or baby daddy in general. Now you got a kid or kids. Now you got a little extra weight. Now you're not as energized as you used to be. Now you're not in the stage, even if you don't have kids, maybe you bucket up on, that trouble to even have children. So now the options have switched. Where you were the one.
And then that's the thing, once women get in this position, they still try and make out that they're a prize and that, that any man should be lucky and why would men not want to date me? Because there's women that are 18, 19, 20 with no kids, no damage, no trauma, or very little compared to you, and men who are wise and intelligent and know and have respect will say, well, I'm not want to go with a 35, 40-year-old woman who's got 1, 2, 3 kids to different guys or whatever, a bit of extra weight, attitude, baggage, trauma, when I could just, get a chick that's younger, hotter, probably more compliant to a degree, and, a better option.
One with a whole bunch of options in your youth. Now, it don't matter how old a man gets, he's always going to have options. Younger, finer, fitter, willing, and you just sitting there. You done gave everybody the kitty. You were hoping that, if you gave somebody the kitty, or if you gave a couple of these men the kitty enough, that they would be able to fly you out and pay your bills. You got bamboozled. They treated you like a lady of the night. Left the money on the dresser and kept it pushing. Now what are you left with? You're broken, used. I hate to say it, washed up. Your self-worth, your dignity, all of that done gone. Now what you gonna do? A lot of these younger women need to wake up, because they keep falling for the gotcha. A lot of these young women in their youth that are possibly going to find themselves in a relationship, but right now they just having fun and telling you all the things to keep you single, when they're actually in spaces that they have multiple opportunities because of their finances and because of their status to be in a relationship later on, but they're convincing you that you don't need a man. And y'all are biting the bait. I love the fact that she said, there's nothing to be obsessed over anymore. Because what is there? What is it? Y'all brag about the fact that y'all don't cook. You brag about the fact that you're not cleaning for nobody. You brag about the fact that you're selfish. You brag about your masculinity. You brag about all these things.
Which men do not want or are attracted to. So the only thing left is your looks, and they can get a bit of fun out of you and then just keep it moving. That's it. So, men are not attracted to any of that at all. Not for the long term. Not a chance.
That are contrary to what a man wants. You love talking about yourself and how you put yourself forward, and and you could do bad all by yourself, and it's all about me, and because I'm the one, because I'm the prize. Where are your results then? If you the prize, who the prize winner? Because we don't see nobody.
That's what I'm saying, and I've said in previous videos. Where does this feminism, this feministic, man-hating, independent, masculine woman, where does this road lead to? It leads to misery and a broken woman. That's it.
We have not seen anybody collect the prize yet. If you're the prize, where is the collector of the prize? You just sit on the...
So if they were the prize, why do they end up hitting the wall and no guy that they could have had wants them anymore? Huh?
Shelf.
On the shelf. Yep.
I didn't find nothing wrong with this woman said. I think she was definitely right on target. I loved everything that she had to say. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the...
Yeah, I forgot I meant to subscribe to her. So, let's just have a look at the comments. As a black man, I don't want a woman I have to buy. And that's the sad thing. That's the way most women are geared. It's like they've got this mindset that men owe them finances straight up. Like, they don't have to prove themselves. It's just like, I'm a woman, pay for my date, pay for this, pay. It's like, no. That's not, I don't accept that, and I never have. I'm lucky that I was always good enough looking that I had a job and a car, and, back in the day we had internet. Well, when the internet came around, it was simple. You just get speaking to women. If the both of you were attracted to each other, you would meet up and have fun. That was it. Now it just gets so complicated. I mean, look, what I'm saying is women are really pushing the boundaries of what they're entitled to levels that are just unbelievable. Beyond what they're entitled to. They're just pushing, and they end up on the shelf, like she said, broken and used and abused. Women said that they can do bad by themselves. As men, we can do good by ourselves. Well, Kevin Samuel was trying to tell them, but they hated his deliverance of telling the truth. His favourite words were, get a dog, die alone. I'm so glad the young generation of women are starting to wake up and speak out. Well, hopefully Thank you for exposing female narcissists. Yep, that's common. I think it breeds it. See, like social media and the attention and the likes, that breeds narcissism to levels that are just disgusting. And it brings out a lot of the worst traits in women. Just attention seeking and all about the external, not the internal. So they live in the external world and they completely ignore the internal, and it's horrible. And just to finish it here, when you were saying about Kevin Samuel about the deliverance, that is a common thing where a man can sit and give a woman a good bit of advice, but if they feel like he's being too mean or too aggressive or too misogynistic or it's too much toxic masculinity for me, they will sit and argue with him, debate him, refute it, and dispute it. But if a woman says the exact same thing or was to interject and explain what the man's saying, you'll find that the woman's like, oh, okay, I understand. I get you now because it's a woman saying it. This is the problem. Women do not listen to men in this day and age, and that's where they're going wrong. Because they think they know it all. They think they know better than us. They think they know what we want better than us. You know, but realistically, we are the market, we are the men, and we decide whether we want you or not. And in this day and age, and I think if it keeps going the way it's going, you're just going to see more single baby mamas all over the place. And right now, I see it everywhere. Everywhere. Because women are so off the mark. It's just unbelievable. Not all, thankfully, women like her and her. No, I'm not saying they're perfect, but at least they can see the error in the way this movement is going, and they're pointing it out. And it needs more women like this, in my opinion, to come out, because it seems to me like women only really listen to women. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work, because some women are just so, you know, reluctant to self-reflect and take accountability. And that's what it comes down to, you know. Women do not like to admit that they're wrong. That's pretty much the reality. And let's see what happens in the future. But I thought that was an interesting video, and until the next time, take it easy. Peace.